drafts were published by the European Commission yesterday, and it's a yellow card for France. That's what a lot of the French press is saying. The EU says that France's deficit is going to reach 4% of GDP in 2014. So you can see here the front page of L'Opinion, the pro-business paper. It says another broken promise from the French government. This comes hot on the heels of another broken promise, which was that the government was going to inverse the unemployment curve. That's what François Hollande had promised he would do by the end of 2013. He didn't manage to do that. So L'Opinion has very harsh words for François Hollande's government. The paper says that France's economic policy is a complete failure. So doesn't mince its words there.
Wow. And meanwhile, the right-leaning paper, Le Figaro, also talks about words, but no action.
That's right. Unsurprisingly, Le Figaro also lashes out against Hollande's government, saying whether it's deficit, growth, or unemployment, France is really worrying the rest of Europe. We're pretty much exactly where we were just 1 year ago when Hollande's government was asking Brussels for a delay, a grace period to get our deficit under control. Well, Le Figaro says there's a feeling of déjà vu here, so also very disappointed in the government. Les Echos, the business paper, focuses on what all this really means for France, the harsh economic reality. Well, you can see the front page here. It says France has to tighten its belt some more, so more austerity measures to come.
All right, let's move on to a completely different story now. Libération's talking about new revelations about the billionaire Serge Dassault and alleged vote buying.
That's right. This is exclusive information that Libération has, and you can see the front page here. It says that it has evidence that Serge Dassault did indeed buy votes in elections in Corbeil-Essonnes. That's a suburb of Paris that he was mayor of. Now, according to Libération, all this confirms a system of organized corruption, and the scale of this scandal is huge, according to Libération. We're talking about 7 million euros in alleged vote buying.
All right, let's move on to the international press, and Ukraine is still the top story.
That's right. I pulled out a cartoon from the International New York Times by Shapat, where you can see on the one hand, Ukrainians celebrating, waving a little European flag there, and on the other side of the border in Russia, you can see President Vladimir Putin on a gas pipeline saying, "Wait, I thought I was in charge." I also pulled out an article from the Moscow Times. It's a quite alarming article by a political analyst named Gregory Boft. And he says that Ukraine is actually a step away from war, and all this could have very serious regional consequences. He says, for instance, that European leaders have to realize that Russia views a geopolitical defeat in Ukraine as an existential threat to Russia itself, a threat which they must respond to with every means in their power, including military might.
All right, Flo, thank you very much. That was Florence Villeminot with all of today's newspapers. And if you're just joining us here on France 24, here's a reminder of our top stories. John Kerry warns that Ukraine should not